Let's cross now to Toronto and speak to Camila Escalante. She is a Latin American news correspondent. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. Now, there's a lot of mixed reaction from Venezuelans. Some people are happy that Maduro is out. Others are protesting in the streets of Caracas and elsewhere. Regardless, there is a lot of uncertainty right now, and the U.S. is determined to call all of the shots. How are people responding to that uncertainty?
The bulk of the uncertainty is being fueled on the exterior. On the inside, people are going about their day like normal. Of course, when things began to happen, there were some sabotage attacks on the electrical grid, which has been denounced today by the National Electricity Corporation, and that resulted in power outages. There were also outages to phone signal and to internet, and that created some uncertainty. But once that returned, people are going about their day. They're going shopping, they are watching the news attentively to see what's going on and talking to their friends and family and making sure that everyone is okay, trying to find out what really was the extent of the damage in the different locations as that information trickles in. But by and large, Venezuela is the target of this online false news campaign, which is making it very difficult for people on the exterior to sort out what's going on. But ultimately, what Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has said, who is now acting president as of the order that was made by the Supreme Court of Justice, has said that the Constitution of Venezuela paves the way for security and that the Bolivarian government is in control of the state and that things continue as normal, including the defense of the country, the stability of the country, the economic stability of the country, and that there's no reason for anyone to panic. They are telling everyone to remain calm, and so far it has been calm following those attacks.
We've heard very little from the opposition. Is there this expectation for them to step up to the plate, especially when Marco Rubio has ruled out holding elections in the country in the near future?
When we talk about the opposition, largely on the exterior, internationally, people are talking about these days Maria Corina Machado, who, as far as we know, was in Europe going to Oslo to receive that Nobel Peace Prize after having been smuggled out of Venezuela with the help of the United States and perhaps some criminal elements to get to Curacao and then to Europe. But we don't actually know what sort of opposition or what figures the United States is alluding to when they say that they're going to be in power in Venezuela, that they're going to control Venezuela in some sort of transitionary period, because right now it's the Bolivarian government led by President Nicolas Maduro who continues to be in charge of Venezuela, even in captivity, even though he's been abducted. And so President Delcy Rodriguez had that National Defense Council meeting alongside the defense minister, alongside the head of the National Assembly and high-ranking officials. And they say that everything remains the same, that, like I said, Delcy Rodriguez will be acting president in the absence of President Nicolas Maduro. But there's no real opposition within Venezuela, certainly not anyone legitimate, although there are members of the National Assembly who are opposition right now, but they don't have any big names within Venezuela. And certainly none of the characters that we've seen in recent years, such as Juan Guaido, who now live in the United States.
Okay, Camila Escalante joining us live there from Toronto. Thank you so much for that insight.